Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
Good evening, Facebook family. Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose with me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guide and servant on the healing journey. What's my name? Big Papa Brian+Post. This evening, Big Papa has to say thank you, thank you, thank you. We just broke 20,000 followers today. And I have you and your friends and your family that you have shared our message with to thank. So from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of the heart of Post+Institute, Christy and I and all of our fine folks, we say thank you for following, thank you for being a friend. Remember that song? Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a believer. Thank you for being someone who helps us stay inspired and motivated and encouraged. You are very much appreciated. Hey, thank you, Debbie. Yes, so we're at 20,000. My goal is 1 million. So 1 million followers, here we come. All right. Next thing is, I've been thinking a lot about, well, before I say that, I've got a few upcoming things. So I put a post in the Post+Institute feed. It's a video I did the other day. I've got a few upcoming events I want you guys to be aware of. I'm going to be in Grand Junction, Colorado. Thank you, Channy. And it's going to be on the 11th. You probably have to watch the video. I think I land on the 11th, but that mid-morning, I'm going to be having coffee somewhere in Grand Junction. I will let you all know who are in Grand Junction, and you can come and sit down and talk parenting with Big Papa. So come have some coffee with Big Papa. And I'm also going to be in Michigan soon, and then I'm going to have coffee there too. And I think I've been telling you guys I was going to do this. And so there's, in May, I'm going to be in Los Angeles for a couple of weeks. So I'll be having coffee for a couple of weeks in May. But also there are a couple of little opportunities for those of you who would like to have Big Papa come to your home, have me come spend some time with you and your family. There's one day that was remaining from the 5 that I posted originally. One of the families wasn't able to follow through and get that done. So there's one day available there, and that's nationwide, Canada, Alaska. That's really not overseas, but so that one day is available, and you just go to bigpapapost.com and you can listen to the video. And it's there. And then the month of May, so from May 19th to May 31st, I'm making 1 full day available and 2 half days. So if you live in Southern California, because I don't want to have to get on a plane and go somewhere, but if you live in Southern California, May 19th to May 31st, there's 1 full day with me available and 2 half days if you are interested in having me come and us do some more intensive work. So that's out there, that's available. Otherwise, I'll be seeing some of you, hopefully just at the coffee shop. We'll have some coffee. So bigpapapost.com, go check that out. Now, I've been thinking a lot about vibrations lately, and I was talking to my very, very dear friend the other evening, and we were having a discussion about her children having sent her a picture flipping her off. So we were out to dinner. She received a picture of her kids, and they're teenagers, flipping her off along with their uncle. They were in town visiting her family, and she felt a little offended by it. And I kind of laughed. I said, it's kind of cute. And she's like, what? They're flipping me off. That's not cool. That's so not cool. And I said, okay, well, let's just think about this for a moment. Number one, they probably received adult encouragement. So it's not like your children were just, sending you a picture, flipping you off out of the blue, out of whatever feelings they may have had. So there's probably adult encouragement because their uncle is a 21-year-old young adult. And her older sister, young adult as well. So they were flipping her off. So I said, well, let's think about this for a moment. They probably weren't doing it intentionally, and she felt like the sister should never have allowed it, and the uncle should have never allowed it, but, so be it. And she was, feeling like she wanted to, tell them about it. And I'm like, it's cool. It's cool for you to tell them about it. But here's what I want you to understand. If you want to have impact, because here's how you're likely to approach it. You're likely to approach it feeling offended, feeling a little butthurt, and you want to make them feel bad about that behavior. And so, however, she's not a spanker or anything like this, and they're teenage girls. So, probably with some unkind words is probably how it would get expressed. And I said, so what's going to happen? And I'm going to do more on this. This is going to be a part of my book, Inside the Parenting Matrix. I said, so when you go, if we're thinking about the way their brain operates, if you go in and you're stressed and you start telling them about themselves and that picture they sent you, well, you got to think the brain stem's down here. So as soon as you go in and you start doing that, what's going to happen is the pathway to the brainstem is going to close up, because the amygdala is going to defend, because the amygdala is immediately going to get threatened, and they're going to move into a cortisol state, and they're going to start defending. Yet, granted, all the brainstem stuff gets stirred up, but the amygdala is going to defend itself, and your words are not going to get to any deeper level. So, and I told her, it's all about vibration. And I'm just getting more and more and more into this. I said, when you come at them with that vibration, their brain, their amygdala senses the vibration as a threat and it shuts off. And it immediately becomes defensive. And as soon as the amygdala becomes defensive, and this is, I feel, instructive for all of your behavior challenges that you may encounter with your children, the children stop listening. They can't hear. Their brain is being arrested. They're being held hostage. So there's no learning that can happen. And because of that stress and that vibration, then the thoughts obviously become stressed. The thinking becomes confused and distorted. And then the parent, now listen to this, the children sent the mom the picture flipping her off. But when she approaches them in a stressful way, she actually becomes the threat. All right, so she's feeling some kind of threat from them sending the picture. So obviously that stressed her out. But then with the approach is to take that same stress vibration and send it to them, which then causes their amygdala to go into a defensive state. As soon as their amygdala goes into a defensive state, then all learning is shut down. So any real learning can't happen. They get arrested. And then they start to perceive her as the threat. So they're not even hearing the words anymore. They're just seeing her as the threat. So I said, that's how we traditionally, classically, historically have parented. And this is why relationships with our teenagers are the way they are, because we keep creating these threatening dynamics. So I said, if you really want to have impact, now, I probably shouldn't have given her the inside scoop, but obviously it's important to her. So I want her to have I want her to have impact, not in a harmful way. I believe anything we use, any skills that we have can be used for good, or they can be used for not good. I said, so if you really want to have impact, and it's really important to you that they not send you a picture like that again, here's what you do. You go in and you smile and you said, hey, that picture was kind of funny. And then you go, it hurt my feelings, and I don't appreciate it, and I'd like you not to send me a picture like that again. Do we understand? And she was like, wow, I can see how that's impactful. And you guys, you feel the shift? So what happens, and I'm going to tell you what happens in the brain when you do that. What happens in the brain is that when you approach your child in a positive state, like a positive vibration, their brain doesn't feel threatened. So the flow from their amygdala to their brainstem is consistent. It's uninterrupted. And so it's open. So when she smiles, then they immediately feel unthreatened. So there's no need for the amygdala to defend. She makes her statement. So you could say it's catching them off guard, which it is, because the amygdala is what's on guard. It is. And as soon as she changes her facial expression, the amygdala can't catch up that fast. So the door can't shut, because now the amygdala is confused. It's the gas and the brakes at the same time. So now the amygdala is confused, and the brain doesn't know what to do. And so at that moment, she delivers the statement with the energy, with a serious energy, which is a serious vibration. So the vibration is what they feel through the core of their being. So it's the smile, the statement, the off-guard statement, and then it's the serious. And you've got to be able to be congruent in your energy with that. So the smile is, yeah, that was a funny little picture. It hurts my feelings when you send me stuff like that. Please don't do that again. Do we understand? Before their brain can defend, the message has already been delivered, and it's been delivered at the brainstem. Now, this is very powerful, very powerful. And ultimately, if you truly want to teach your child, you've got to deliver your messages in that capacity. Because otherwise, if you come at your children with that negative vibe, they're just going to defend against it, because that's what the amygdala does all the time. So I'm giving you a little insight here. Dan says, I'm going to pack that right in my toolbox. They're giving you a little insight. I'm giving you a little insight here in how to communicate in a way that the brain can receive the message. Because see, here's what happens. When you communicate to your child in a way that the pathway remains open, that's how you connect to the heart, because the brainstem and the amygdala has neural circuitry which runs down the spinal cord into the heart, into the gut. That's how you create the body effect, the body impact of the message. But if your vibration, and they'll sense your vibration immediately. As soon as they see you, the amygdala is always scanning for it. The amygdala will defend, and it will defend to keep the rest of the body safe. Right? But then what happens is the child doesn't learn. The child doesn't hear. They only see you as a threat, and then that just creates more negative conditioning that already exists. So really the challenge is for us as the parents, we have to be able to regulate ourselves enough initially to be able to come at the brain with a vibration that maintains the state at where it's at. Because I can guarantee you that by the time she finally, and I told her, don't even have the conversation, for the next period of time. By the time she even gets to the point. Now, let me say this. To me, the conversation's not even necessary. I wouldn't have the conversation if it was me. It was important to her. And because it's important to her, they're her children, it's her relationship, they've got a history. And I've got a little thing I'm going to say about that too. She needs to have the conversation. It makes her feel better. So when you can have the conversation in that way, it goes right to the heart and the gut. So right to the brainstem, the heart and the gut. The hippocampus is not overwhelmed, so the hippocampus is available. It can learn. And I will guarantee you, with that approach, those children will never send her another picture where they will flip her off again. Not only that, but they are likely to remember that for the rest of their lives, just because of the way the brain is open in the initial communication, in the initial teaching. So keep that in mind. So we continue the conversation, and this was like part 2, but that's that part. And part 2 was because of everything she's gone through, and she said this, we've gone through a lot, and I know a lot of you as parents feel that same way. We've gone through a lot. I've done a lot. I have sacrificed a lot for these children. Now, this is one of my best friends my whole life. Yeah, I've got three best friends that I've known for years and years and years and years. So I've known her since we were literally babies and from as long as I can remember. So I can communicate to her in a way that I would have to be more gentle with other people. So she's telling me about all the sacrifice she's made for these children and then how offended she felt by this picture. And I just said, listen to what you're saying. You're feeling victimized by your kids. You're feeling victimized by the kids you brought into the world. You brought them into the world. You were a part of the shit that they went through. It wasn't their fault. And now you're being victimized by them because they sent you a picture that was less than gracious and showed a less desired amount of gratitude. They're 15 and 12 years old. They've only been in the world 12 and 15 years. And so they have a behavior that triggers you, but it has nothing to do with them. Don't feel victimized by your kids. And how often do we feel victimized by our kids and we don't even realize it? And so we went further into that too. And it was a fantastic conversation. That's why it's going to be the introductory conversation in my book, Inside the Parenting Matrix. I'm going to piece it all together. But us feeling victimized by our children only comes from us having felt victimized by our own parents. And their behavior towards us only comes from them being victimized by their parents. And so unless we catch that cycle and we stop it, we are intentional about stopping it, then it doesn't change energetically. Energetically, the vibration just continues to flow through. And we don't even know it. So the next time you're feeling really challenged by your child's behavior, I want you to ask yourself, am I feeling victimized by my child right now? And where is this really coming from? I've told you guys to do that before. Just ask the question, where is this really coming from? That's it. I think that's enough for Friday. Again, Big Papa loves you. I thank you. I honor you. I'm so grateful for you. 20,000. 20,000. We are just rocking on. And that's because you love and you like and you share and you comment. That just helps us go further and further and further and reach more and more and more families. There are so many families. 20,000 of us. There's 20,000 of us right now, but think about how many hurting families there are in the world. I just heard on the news a mom an adopted mother basically torturing and abusing her children to get them to perform for YouTube. There's some real sickness in the world. Some real sickness. And thank God her biological child reported her. You know, it's just real crazy stuff that's going on. And it just reflects the stress that we live in our society right now, the great amount of fear that we live in. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for spreading the love. Thank you for working so hard, even when fear seems so easy and it can seem so conditioned, that you choose love time and time again. Again, Big Papa loves you. And check out BigPapaPost.com. Watch that little video. I want to have coffee with you guys. And I'm going to be doing this. I got quite a bit of traveling coming up over the next 6 months. So any city I'm in, I am going to let you guys know, give you a little advance notice. And if you're there, we'll come have coffee and we can share. You know, we'll do a Facebook Live and let everyone hear our questions. And I already bought my little microphone. I got 2 mics, one for me, one for you. It's going to be a good time. And if you are in a place where you'd like to have me come to your home, this is a very, very limited time special opportunity. This will not happen again this year. I assure you. I don't know when it may happen again. It probably won't happen at this rate ever again. So this is a special opportunity. 1 day available for nationwide and 1 full day for California, Southern California, and 2 half days for Southern California for May 19th through the 31st. God bless you. Big Papa loves you. Hope you have a fantastic Friday evening. Have some fun. It's freaking fabulous Friday. So have some fun. Have a good evening. And I'm probably not going to see you this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Gonna just have some rest and relaxation. So I'll be back here, Post Daily Dose, Monday evening. God bless. We'll see you guys.